We have an amazing community run today. We're here to honor some amazing dads. I can't believe I'm the one that's pushing the stroller through all these runs, and everybody's looking at me like, is he ridiculous? And I just remember just the feeling of how eager I was to start running with my son, literally 2 months in the pandemic. He was 2 months old, and I was like, yo, I got this running stroller from Alex and Nicole. I was like, I'm ready to put him in that stroller and just go. And I just remember how phenomenal it felt like and how much praise I got. And I was just so surprised because I'd never seen anyone, in my space at least, like I told you, I've only seen like Adam with AJ and not really much other fathers running with their children in a stroller. So I didn't know how the community was going to embrace me, but it felt amazing to get that love and support.
He wants to run fast, he wants to be in the front, and as a father, you want to like make sure you're protecting him and make sure you see advantage, right? You see the street before he sees it, and you want to make sure he's protected. And you know, I'm chasing him down. You know, like so. It's inspiring. He has a lot of energy, but he also has a lot still to learn. And I feel like it's my responsibility to do that. Like there were times I think last year I was like, I want to like, you know, find a coach for him, and then somebody said to him, you. Like you're the coach. Yeah, what are you talking about? And so that's my responsibility now, like to really teach him, you know, how to run, how to like be consistent with his pace and breathing. So I think right now it's his time to really learn how to take on the sport.
Accept these like flowers, whether they're like in person or metaphoric, because I'm just always like thinking about like just doing the next thing and just like making sure all my people are there. And, just trying to keep everybody together because it was a really important thing for me growing up. My family and our situation stayed together.
I feel like it's 18 months, and then I never realized it, but like in those 18 months, I ran 3 marathons. So in her entire life, I've been marathon training, right? I trained for a marathon, ran a marathon, took a month off, trained for a marathon, and like that was kind of the pattern. And like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing a lot. But like now that I'm not doing all that, I was like, oh, I was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that was. So my one advice is that like there's unlimited amount of races and opportunities and things going on. Like you can put that aside, but like she's only going to be a year to 2 years once ever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's way more important. So like you think that like these things or these opportunities are not going to be around, but they're always going to be around. There's always something going on. Ophelia was born 2 weeks before New York City Marathon, which was like my first. And like similar things, like the running, I've always been able to get up and do the run. Like whenever she wakes up at 6:30, I have no problem waking up at 4:30 and go and do my run. But like the sleep, the like when I come home, it's not like, oh, let me put my leg. It's like, all right, now I gotta be a dad.
Like, I mean, honestly, you know, you guys have young kids. It's different for me. Like I have the 2, they're older, so. Berlin, for example, I had to make adjustments. So if I couldn't get up early, I would have to do the run afterward. So it's tough. And then it's tough when you have kids out of state. So I have 2 that I have to go see. So once I came back from Berlin, the training was tough. Let's just put it like that. Training was tough because if I wasn't up at 5 in the morning doing my run, getting to the grandparents' house, then I had to leave work at 5 and run 5 to 6 miles back home. April used to see me. She used to see me. But I would still have time for my girls, for my youngest. But when I came back from Berlin, as soon as I came back, I had to fly out to Texas. I had to go see my oldest. And then I had to come back. Now it gets a little challenging because they're at the stage where everybody wants individual time. So my training is going to be a little bit different. Like Joe and I, we spoke about training and finding a training plan, but right now it's me spending more time with them. Because now it's like, you want to run, right? So you run. but then you also got to spend your time with your kids. So for me, I think spending time individually with my girls, that's more important than training. Like, I can always get my runs in. I'm still training, but I'm making sure my quality time goes to the girls. Training can come afterwards. A race is a race. I'm always going to have a run. I'm always going to be able to get up and do a race. I'm always going to get up and do a marathon. But that time with your kids, it's more important. So you got to find that balance. And every day, you can't assume it's going to be the same. Just switch it up. Switch it up. Adjust it. Adjust to it just like you would adjust to the weather.
There's been many different run communities for me, right? So running saved my life because I never made a basketball team, right? And it wasn't until my parents put me in the track, I was like, try this. And then I found something that was so natural, but at the same time, it gave me hope that I could be something great. And it showed me hard work. So that's the first time I really knew about hard work was from the track. And then now I go back to being a father. I remember my daughter was born January 24th, 2020. So that's before the pandemic happened, right? And I tell Jerry this, Kobe died 2 days later, right? So I'm bringing her from the NICU. I cut on the TV and they're saying like Kobe and his daughter passed away. So the touching realization that I had a daughter and it was my responsibility to show her everything I had, the first thing I thought about was running. Because that's the thing that brought me joy, that's the thing that brought me happiness, and it's the first thing that ever, like, it was like paper. When I go outside, I can write down my ideas, but it's in my head now. That's how I think of all these creative things. That's how I thought about the Sober Run Festival. That's how I thought about 930 Gallery. I just go run. So the one thing about being in this run community is you get to see people like you and people who understand you. And that's the one thing about running does. It's an energy. You don't have to say nothing. You see somebody running, you just smile. You just keep going, and that fills me up. And being a father now, she sees the stroller and she said, "Daddy, we're gonna run it?" And to me, that let me know I'm on the right track because there's so many hard days, like you said, where you're trying to run and then you're just like, yo, like it's too cold, I can't take her outside. But yet, you're just like, I'm gonna still do it, but we're gonna do it another time. So you never give up. And I know with her, it's just gonna be a great time when I can see her saying, "Dad, let's go." And you're just like, I did that. So
We did that.
We did that.